one of the things that spoke to me on this slide was our belief system. You know, we all come from the womb, and Bill did such a great job showing us how our neurotransmitters, when we're first born, are wide open and receptive. And what happens to us over time, and just from my own personal experience that I can share with you, is as we continue to grow and develop and people tell us no, or we get scolded, or we get embarrassed, or we're talking in class, or we remember our roots, or this wasn't great, or you know, we have these beliefs, and those pathways in our mind, they begin to close. Not that we want them to close, but we get scared and we want to protect ourselves. So fear and faith actually are very similar. They both ask us to believe in something that's not real. And so what I want to ask all of you is, you say, well, I came to Dealer Congress. It's been awesome. I've heard all these great stories. What do I do with it now? And what I want to ask you to do, I have this little butterfly, and this is my reminder that when I'm functioning in fear, that's not for me to stay there. It's for me to step on it and rise above it and use it as a stepping stone to progress for my future and what is intended for my destiny. So I would like to ask all of you with this slide right here, the subconscious mind is so powerful. It's going to grab a hold of us. It's going to drive us. It's going to keep us still if we let it. I'm asking you to grab your butterfly, whatever that butterfly might be for you, and step out in faith and be the best that you can possibly be. I am not an expert by any means. I have no formal training. I grew up in Detroit, on the streets of East Detroit. I moved to Plant City, Florida when I was 10 years old. My parents divorced when I was 3. I had a new family. My mom, of course, but I went from the streets of East Detroit to Plant City, Florida, which was actually the best thing that ever happened to me. So I was able to take those rough edges and then turn into a country girl. So if you hear me say y'all, it's because of where I'm from. But I learned everything that I know by being receptive. So my point is, you don't have to have a college degree. You don't have to have affirmation from others to be successful. You have to go into what's inside of you and what you know and grab a hold of it, which is the core. We've talked a lot about core values and what's important for us. So my goal for you guys, we created this little workbook because I wanted value for you guys. Some of it might work for you. Some of it is just fluffy stuff, because I like to write. You put me in front of a computer, I can write. I'm like, get me talking, that's not so good sometimes. So what are core values? You know, Kyle did such a great job demonstrating core values. Core values are the things that we believe in. Things that adjectives we want to use to define us, right? Things that we want our customers to know about us when they experience us. So I would like you guys, and this is very, very important. People say, well, why are core values important? It's foundational. It roots you. It's not only good for the entrepreneur to know these things. This is something you need to teach your team. So when you have your core values, it's the beginning of growing a strong business that is grounded and rooted in something more important than our feelings and our emotions. That's the one other thing that I will say is your core values will keep you in your foundation, because sometimes we can feel things and not stay the course. So we try to eliminate as much feeling as possible when we're creating our businesses, because we don't want to have a business that is moving on feelings and very distracted, because we can get distracted as people. It's our nature. So it's the methods you use to build your business, the type of clients you want to attract, how you improve the lives of everyone you touch. That's what a core value is. A core value is, how can my business translate to value for our customers? I love looking at big industry. I told you guys yesterday that I felt like Kyle, when I heard him talking, I saw Intel. I like looking at companies that are huge and thinking big and aligning myself with those kind of visions. I love Adobe. Adobe's an awesome company to look at. Genuine, exceptional, innovative, involved. If you go on Adobe, they kind of do the same breakdown that Kyle did. They have the adjective describing the action word, but then they have the attributes of the brand. So what does genuine mean? It's a further explanation. They're always genuine. They translate truth. They bring the best. They're exceptional. They're innovative. American Express, customer committed, quality, integrity, teamwork. Google's a great one to look at. Emulate something big. Think big. Even if you're just one person, you're one person today, but think big. Think of the things that you do for your customers, how it improves their lives, and then look at companies that you want to emulate. So legacy brand. Our legacy is to build more American entrepreneurs. By watering others, you water yourself. That's a motto that my husband, Reto, has been saying for 18 years. It stuck. We had an opportunity to sell to some larger distribution centers a long time ago. And we had to look at our company and say, is this the best thing for our company? Is this the best thing for our clients? Are they going to benefit that way? And we said, no, our contractors need to work directly with us in a non-competing market. So we wanted to water others and then water ourselves. One thing is very important, the strategic plan. I told you guys I created, with my mentor, a strategic plan. There's over 250 hours into this. Be careful what you wish for. It's a lot. So we need to update this always too. When you have a strategic plan, it's a strategic analysis. You of course look at your revenue stream. You look at your any of your current business, your local environment, your competitors. A strategic review, your go-to-market strategy, your core values, your organizational chart, your tactics, your digital marketing. You want to know what you're doing. So a strategic plan helps you set those guidelines and focus your company. So Garden Light LED's core values: uncompromising integrity, partner focus, determined, passionate, fosters growth and learning, results through teamwork and respect. You have to work on this all the time. You have to commit to it. And it's, once you get the foundation for your company, expect it to grow. So how do you determine your core values? What's the most important thing your company represents? Why would somebody need your product? What problems do you solve for your customers? If you put yourself in a position of serving and solving, it's not so much about selling. You end up reaping the benefits of that by solving their problems and serving your customers. So put yourself in a position of serving. Why would somebody need your products? Ask yourself that. Know the answers to that. Be able to convey that to them. What problems do you solve? Why should they choose your company? What value do you bring into the world? So many of us think short-mindedly, like, well, I'm only in this small market. Let's think globally. How can we help people? How can we innovate and bring more entrepreneurs into the world ourselves? You guys can actually carry that message out for us. If you know somebody that hates their job, wants to get into a new industry, needs some life breathed into them, share what you know. That's the expectation. You can't keep it all for yourself. If you don't know other lighting professionals, this is my pitch time. Bring them to us. I'm looking at Michael, president of AOLP. You know, that's a great organization. We need those members to be part of this community too. So the one thing I would ask is, if we earn your trust and your respect, share. Let's continue to build and spread the wealth. And the wealth meaning it's not monetary wealth that we're talking about here. This is self-fulfillment. This is actualization. This is the top of what is it? What is that? Hierarchy. Maslow's hierarchy. I love that stuff. What words define your business? Do you offer great customer service? Do you serve superior products? Competitive pricing, American made? These are things that you have to sit down and define. You're in the service side of things, so yours are going to be more service oriented. I don't think anybody can show up on a property like you, Nick, and deliver the amount of service that you do. You sell on your service. The product you can count on. You know you have great product. You know you can do amazing things with the product. But you're the service side of the business. When somebody interacts with you, Matthew is going to take great care of them, and they're going to have an exceptional world-class experience. You want to convey that to your customers. So what words define your business? Do you have integrity? Are you reliable? Do you give back to your community? I'm big on this one and need to do better with it. But for businesses that want to root themselves in the community, very important to find something that you're passionate. I heard Kyle, Ryan, you do Street of Dreams. You know, you're going to benefit from that just by being in the right place at the right time. You have all those people that you're affecting in those communities in a positive way. You're rubbing shoulders with them. Find things within your community that you believe in and give back, because that's only going to create growth for you. Step 2, train. I was talking with Tiffany last night. Training is really important. How many of you guys go to the gym? How often? Are you guys like diehard, like you like the intense workouts? When you're feeling good? What about when you don't feel good? Do you still go to the gym? What about if it's raining? What if it's storming? What if it's snowing like it was in Seattle? Craig and Mary almost didn't make it out of Seattle, but train. Train your mind. Train your brain, train your body. Train your heart to give. This guy didn't just wake up and show up to win the race. There was a lot of preparation that went into this action right here. And it wasn't just when he felt like training. I can guarantee you that there were days that he said, I can't do this. I don't want to wake up today. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. My foot hurts. My head hurts. My kids are crying. My body, my mind. So train. Find good people. Work within a community. I grab a hold of Bill and Allison. When we came up with the strategic plan, and I have all these big ideas, I get it. I don't want anybody to tell me I can't do anything. I can have big ideas. I can have big ideas. They might be crazy, and sometimes they are. I admit it. I put $1 million value on this event. Seriously. So when I would talk to people and try to get them to come to this event, I'd say, it's $1 million value. Well, why is it $1 million value? Well, you would never have this group of talent coming together in one room, and you guys all contribute to that, by the way. It's not just the keynotes. The keynotes are awesome, but people give their hearts and souls to be here. And I'm very grateful for that. But I put over $1 million value, and I actually sent my ultimate entrepreneur idea to, Rayto laughs at me. He's like, oh, you're just crazy. I am crazy. I am crazy, 100%. But I sent it to Allison. I said, Allison, what do you think about this idea? What do you think if I can get all these people together and we can all work together and we can all bounce ideas off each other and we can continue dialogue and we can be in the Facebook community together and we can learn from Kyle, and Kyle starts his program, and Corey teaches people how to core drill, or Ryan can teach people how to sell, and Janet can up the ante for design, and these guys can actually position themselves and do things that they can't do or their competitors can't do. What if? And she validated that for me. But you got to stay with good people. You got to understand that this just doesn't fall on the sky. This happens with training and discipline and finding the right things. Everybody does podcasts now and books and audibles and meditation. Fill your mind. because those neurotransmitters and those pathways are getting blocked every day. We need to figure out a way to fight back and open them back up. So that fear and that doubt and all that stuff that's under the surface doesn't keep us from our destiny, which is glorious. We all have a bigger destiny. Janet Lennox Mueller, we are launching a Learn Nightlight video training series. She blew me away. She's like, I've never done video. Jan busted out 10 episodes. They're 10 to 20 minutes long. This woman knows so much. And I personally, but Garden Light, I don't want this information to go away. It needs to be preserved. It needs to be respected. And shared, absolutely. And carried on for decades, centuries. I mean, this is going to be a learning tool for people for legacy. Talk about legacy. Unique installation approach. I've talked to a lot of you, and you need help. You need to understand what the technology can do for you. Everybody looks with different manufacturers, and I get it, but there's so much value in working with one manufacturer in a one-to-one relationship, but then working with their partners and understanding the installation. What can this technology do for me? Ask the right questions. You don't have to keep going, well, I use this one for that and this one. Use one place. Let it be your reservoir of knowledge, of product, of things that reliability. Later today, we're going to hear from Zig Ziglar, Tom Ziglar's son. I don't know of any more iconic person. This guy's like an evangelist for sales. Rachel and I have heard him before. I know a lot of you may have had the luxury of seeing Zig Ziglar. The Secret to Closing the Sale is a very cool platform. It's super user-friendly. It's very responsive. You can use it from your phone. If you're stepping into an appointment, you're chickening out before you go in, you might want to plug it in. I know Mario's used it in his car a lot. Very, very cutting-edge stuff. It brings the old with the new, which I really like. Administrative blueprint. Thank you, Craig and Mary. You know, a lot of you got a lot from that presentation. I talked to you, and I'm checking in with everybody to see what was their favorite and what gave them a lot of value here at the event. And I want to thank you both for sharing your hearts, your souls. You've built a beautiful business in the Northwest. Craig and Mary were our neighbors, and they built a beautiful lighting company and had it valued and sold it here in Tampa, Florida. And then they moved to the Pacific Northwest. But Craig's he is a consultant, but was in the gas industry for a long time, commodities industry. Gas, am I right? Something like that. Whatever. All right, I'm gonna keep moving. Thank you, but think of your business. You need to know your numbers so you can go out there, and you need to know how much things cost you and what the value is and how much goes into your labor and all these things. So I want to thank Craig and Mary for sharing the administrative side of the business. One-to-one relationships with manufacturers. There's a lot of people that we've garnered from looking at franchise opportunities. I'm glad, and I hope most of you guys have not purchased a franchise in the lighting field, because we are available and we're here for you, and we have one-to-one relationships with our customers. We offer digital marketing support. We offer training. We do host events. You can come into our factory and hang out with us for a couple days. That's really where the magic happens. I know Jay came in for a few days and spent some time with us, went out with the guys. Come on in. We welcome you. That's where we take this to the next level. So give back too, that's a big part of this. So once you learn and you get rooted, give back. Become a mentor, become a leader, train others. By watering others, you water yourself. You will reap the benefits of that. You will grow by teaching other people. I have to say, when I saw you, Kyle, going through your presentation, and Craig, you guys whipped it up. By second time, third time, fourth time, it was old hat. It was like, that's good for you to practice as an entrepreneur. Putting yourself out there, It also helps you regurgitate some of your own business. And you're like, wait a second, I just said that, but I realize I kind of need to backtrack a little bit too. So give back, teach, use yourself as a vessel for learning and helping others. Branding. I love branding. I love marketing. I'm a marketing girl. I get excited about marketing. Build a brand for yourself that resonates. These are just some of the companies that I had the pleasure of working with. I think this was my testing ground for learning. As I said, I didn't go to college, but I had the School of Hard Knocks, and then I also had the pleasure of working for some really big companies on the marketing side. I was behind the camera, but I was always learning. So I would do commercials, print, ad, runway, TV, all kinds of things. But instead of just sitting there, I was taking advantage of the learning opportunity. I was around people that produced the print, the collateral, the set designers, the grips, the TV, the camera. I got to see everything come together. And it's really helped me in my business. So I also want to share that a lot of you, whatever your journey is and has been, it's got you to where you are today. So I bet if you look back at some of those things that you've done in your past, you still leverage a lot of that, and it's a learning tool for you. So don't forget it. You've had it, it's in there, it's locked away, but bring some of that stuff to the surface as you continue to grow and want to grow your business. So what makes a brand resonate? Integrity, reliability, giving back to the community, honest and partner focused. Your brand is your why. So why do we do this? Do we love what we do? That's a question you guys have to ask yourself. The brand will reflect that. If you love what you do, the brand will resonate. If you do the homework, if you do the training, if you commit to building a brand that resonates, and it's about your why, it's about your purpose, and then you're able to communicate that purpose and that why to your customers, they will be attracted. They will come to you. The attributes of a brand. So, when we did a fixture for life, ours are lifetime. You break down that statement. What does that mean? A fixture for life. Well, we hope, and I think it lasts a lifetime. We offer a 20-year warranty. Got to give the product a little plug. But it's for a lifetime. It's like a love, You marry somebody, it's for a lifetime. It's forever. It's endless. It's permanent. It's perpetual. It's endearing. It's for keeps. All these things. So when you're delivering your quality to your customers, break down the attributes of your brand. What defines a legacy brand? Generational. I have a funny story that I was trying to think of this. Yes, Heinz Ketchup's been in business since 1897. We all still use it. It's been passed down through the generations. When I first married Reto, I went to Switzerland for the first time. Reto's Swiss, which is why the engineering and the product is so amazing, because the Swiss people are so refined and so detailed. But we stayed in his grandparents' farm, the farmhouse that he was born in. You want to talk about girl from Detroit into country girl? I can do the farm, but I was in a farmhouse with about 8 people, 1 bathroom, and I shared a twin. Probably it was a full-size bed, okay, with Reto. I'm getting married, and Uncle Hippo has his pants hanging next to me. I roll over, I see Uncle Hippo's pants. I'm showering in the same shower that 8 people are using. We drive to the grandparents. As we're flying in to Switzerland, I see this forest with these huge trees. And Reto's telling me, my great-great-great-great-great Großpapi planted all those trees. And I said, bull, I was like, I don't believe it. Meet the whole family, stay in the Swiss farmhouse, stay in the bed with the lederhosen staring at me. I can guarantee you they weren't clean. So we went later to that bridge, and we went to the forest with our kids. Not at that time. But every time we go back, so I went for the first time to the forest, the Bernese Oberland, where these hundreds-of-year-old trees were planted from a small seed by Rato's great-great-great-grandfather. Now it's something that we go visit the grandfather's grave when we have our kids. That's generational. That's something that we can share with them. They will ask, we scare them when we're driving through the wilderness too. We're like, oh, there's dragons on the car, and then Rato will bang on the car a little bit. We make it fun, but it is very cool to see those trees that started from nothing and know that our family had something to do with that. And I have adopted that family because we've been married now 18 years. They're my family. Those trees are mine too. Character. What is it? Yeah, I like how you're thinking. Okay, so everybody close their eyes. Think of somebody that meant the world to you in your life. Grab a hold of that person right now and thank them for everything they did for you to get you here today. Hold them close to your heart because their hard work, their labor, their love is what has us here today. That's part of us. Don't let it go. Remember it, cherish it. It's precious. Mine's my grandfather. I loved my grandfather very much. Howard Dietzel. He was an entrepreneur. When he was in his 90s, he wanted to sell landscape lighting. He was on an oxygen tank. He smoked when he was younger, but not a lot. But he lived in Alaska, and when all the volcanoes erupted, he ended up getting emphysema at a young age. So he was on oxygen. But how was Grandpa? Grandpa would go out and try to sell landscape lighting with an oxygen mask in his 90s. I love that man. I could go talk to him about anything. And I thank God every single day for all the hard work and the failures that he had to get me where I am today. And I hold on to that. That's character. Character, as I said before, in my opinion, is more important than talent. So when you're hiring people for your company, you want to not only have your core values in place, you want to have your training program in place, and this doesn't happen overnight, by the way. The 20-mile race and Good to Great, it's 15 to 30 years. But hopefully you guys can do a fast forward by learning from other people. But look for character qualities. We want talent. We need talent, but also if you have the good systems and training in place, talent is ancillary compared to the character. Because with somebody with character, you can build a lot with. And if you're wanting to build a great business and future, you look for character. Quality, fairness, consistency. I don't know. I was thinking of like a belt or something the other day. What's some brands that you guys know of that you buy one of your whole life? You know you're not going to have to replace it. Yes, they came up on my list because I was looking through. You're absolutely right. So, what do they do? Okay, I saw them too. So I was looking up brands. What is something you have to buy one of? Rolex. They don't work all the time. You gotta get one of those winders. Gotta get a watch winder. But Levi's, I mean, come on. Levi's is an American company. You buy one pair, you can wear them out, right? You never wear them out. So offer that kind of quality, that kind of service. Think of your brand like that, right? Think of your brand and sell that as a selling feature. How many mistakes do people make buying substandard products and then having to replace them and go through all the headaches? It's a big headache. I've been on a technology kick. It's been hard because there's no quick answer for it. You have to check in different areas and you'll have to change. But the reality is you have to embrace technology. If you're a company, I don't care if you're one person, 4 people, 6 people, You have to be current. People spend about 4 to 6 hours per day on their cell phones. If your business cannot be found via cell phone, you got a problem, because that number's only rising. It's going to continue to increase. So you want to be current, you want to be modern, you want to embrace technology, you want to do social media. Humility. The ladder goes up and down. You know, you may rise sometimes, but when you're on top, you better be careful, because it could go down real fast. So have that humility as a person, but as a business owner, as a parent. I can't think of a better example of humility than parenting, right? We put so many seeds into our children, and you have to be humble. You have to listen. You have to go both ways with them, because you can't dictate to them. They're going to have to experience things. I always like looking at my examples with my children when I'm looking at my business as well. Plan to grow. I talked to some people yesterday, and they said to me, gosh, you know, I love lighting. I've shared lighting. It's brought me all over the world, but I've been through so much, and I've never used it as a tool to be have financial freedom. And I'm saying, well, start now. Do it now. It's not too late. You know something more than anybody knows. It gets dark every day. And people need light. We are in a dark world. We need light to survive, like plants. We need light. So focus, plan to grow, plan to build a team, plan to excel and thrive and be the best that you can be. I love, you know, Target. You see that sign? You don't even need the words. FedEx, you know, I just saw this the other day. You guys know there's that arrow. You just know with FedEx, you're going to get it's going to get to you. FedEx is going to get you there. Target, you know there's going to be one on every single corner. Bullseye, they have everything you need. Logos and slogans, a lot of people get caught up on what, you know, I like some of the current ones, but Nike, you know, they've just changed theirs. They were just do it for so long. There's no finish line. Happiest place on earth, Walt Disney World. I disagree. I can't do Disney with 4 kids. Tony just got back from Disney. They spent 3 days there, and Lisa, nope, no desire. Close the park for me, and then I'll go. But, you know, slogans, invest in good photos. Joel, that's what attracted me to your company, honestly. I reached out. I was in California with our team, with Luis and Bruce, and Joel, his company popped up, and I wanted to meet Joel. I wanted to meet Joel because I'm like, Joel knows what he's doing. And I think we can help him, you know, with our product. So that was my goal. But invest in good photos. If you're in the lighting business, you need to show people what you do. It's not so much about what you say. I'm going to steal that from you. It's about what you do. Or wait, what you're saying? It's not about what you say. It's about show. It's about what you show. It's not about what you know. It's about what you show. Show people. Lighting's very visual. I remember when Gary Parkhurst was just starting out, you know, he had a few pictures. He's building his arsenal up. I mean, he's got some beautiful pictures of his work that he can take pride in and show his customers. It's a good investment to have. Colors, a lot of people get, you know, font choices, all the basics. I get it. Don't get too distracted with that stuff. Work on the brand, work on the core values, work on yourself, work on the training. Come out with a nice logo, great, invest in pictures, go digital, think digital, own your zip code. This is really, really important that you make sure that all of your directory listings. So you've got Bing, Google, Yahoo, Yelp. It sounds complicated, you might need help, but make sure that you are registered with the exact same address, that your hours of operation are consistent. When you do a digital marketing footprint, everything has to match. It's critical. If you have a comma or a point or a dash and an address and it's not the same across all of the aggregates, you're gonna be in trouble. So you will not populate. So if you're on Bing, people use, PCs go to Bing. I don't use Bing, I hate Bing. But Google, Yahoo, Yelp, all those things. Blogging, we have partner solutions for blogging. So you wanna align your company in the local market by creating relevant content, solving people's problems, and being knowledgeable. That's why you blog. So invest in some of that stuff. Social media, you wanna have a social media presence. People wanna know what you're doing. Craig and Mary's daughter does social media. She does a fantastic job. It's not always about buy my product, but you gotta be cool and edgy and have great conversations with people. It's just to start dialogue, but create interest through your social media platforms. And for some of us old timers, you know, and I'm gonna put myself in that category too, social media is hard. I don't know how to get on there and do all the fancy, you know, hashtag and sound cool. My kids do, but if you don't, find somebody that does, or call us and we can help you and point you in the right direction with that. But you wanna do that. So you wanna make sure you have a relevant website that indexes and comes up, that has some SEO behind it, which is the keywords and the search terms and things like that. So you don't want to just go have a friend of a friend make your website. If you're really trying to grow and scale a business, you want to have a really good website that indexes, that has a customer experience and a call to action with some SEO and some keywords for searchability. Your online reputation. We need to work on this. So if anybody had a really awesome time here, I want to ask you guys for a review. Please. We have spent almost 4 years garnering reviews for our customers, asking their clients, please leave a review for them. And we've had some success with it, but I want to also ask you guys, if you would, and you had a great time, give us a review online. We need that. All companies need that. And we can bounce that back for you guys too. Ask your customers, when you have delivered a great experience, a world-class experience for your customers, before you collect that check, actually ask them to give you a review while you're there on the property. You can feel a little bit funny about it, but it really makes a difference. So ask for reviews. Social media, like I said, those are the 4 pillars. Some of you guys have CRM, customer relationship management tool. It's really important if you want to grow and scale, because you want to nurture your customers. You want to give them experiences, let them know what you're doing, repurpose, drip on them, say hi, wish them a happy Valentine's Day. Don't bug them, but reach out to them on a regular basis. We offer co-marketed websites for preferred partners. We will help you guys with your websites. They can look like that, but they will be your photos in your market. And we want to help you guys if you don't even have a website. Some guys don't have websites yet, so we know that we can help in that area. Search engine optimization, that's all the search terms, the keywords, landscape lighting repair. You want to own those. And one way to own those is by doing Google AdWords. That's a simple, easy way to not only track your digital marketing spends, because Google provides all analytics. I love Google because it doesn't lie. You allocate funds for certain keywords and you get a report on what's indexing and what's working. And then you can allocate more funds to those search terms and those keywords. And then you pop up when people are searching in their local market for landscape lighting repair. You want to own that. So, again, I like social media for really rooting you into the community. I think it's important for community events and things like that. I use those platforms for that. You start conversations with customers. Scale. So some of you guys said, you don't know what I've been through, just getting feedback. I can imagine. I've been through a lot too. But like I said, that purpose that you have is greater than yourself. But once you do all the work, the brand, the training, the core values, it's really real. Even if you're one person, Have a vision to grow. Now, somebody said to me the other day, oh, I know what this is. If I sell more product, you guys make more money. And yeah, of course, that's part of the luxury of doing business. But it's so much more. When somebody can grow a business that has core values and that has trained and provides the best customer experience for their customers, and then they can hire people in their community and offer them jobs and offer them a future of leadership as well. You're growing other leaders. When you really get a hold of leadership, leaders don't necessarily lead and dictate what to do. They grow other leaders because they have the power and the influence, not through themselves, but through something greater than themselves. But their goal is to grow more leaders, because then you can be more effective in the world, and you can offer more sustainable jobs, and you can help more families, and then those people can benefit. And I loved what you said about your team. Your team came back to you and said, I bought my first house ever. You know, that's huge. Those people probably didn't know they were going to be able to buy a house. You know, or my wife can be a stay-at-home mom. How awesome is that? You know, it's those kind of things that you have to understand that your company, if you build it right, is capable of doing. So, you know, clearly define job descriptions. You can have a great strategy, a great plan. You can have talented people with character. But, you know, if they're wearing a hat, and sometimes when you're a small business, everybody wears many hats. But what I want you guys to start thinking of is, like, I love swim lanes. I was sharing this with Tiffany yesterday. I like to look at swim lanes. So if I know I have these executive team, these positions in my company, I can look at each one of these swim lanes and know what those people are responsible for and begin to grow those people and allow them to elevate and grow something really, really great within their domain. So take your business and look at the pillars of what you know the functions are to get from the phone call to the lights in the ground, and then the service that follows it. Know those functions and start defining those roles. Don't make it super complicated. Keep it very, very simple. Hire the right staff. This is kind of my swim lanes here. So I'll share with you for Garden Light. We have sales, dealer development team lead. We have an operations team lead. We have an engineering and quality team lead. We have a strategy and marketing and communications team lead. And we have administrative functions of our company. It's pretty simple. Those are the top tier. Rato's at the very, very top. But Rato, as Kyle said yesterday, needs to trust that he has all the right people in those positions and gives them the autonomy to hire if you want to grow. And this is one of the things that we're going to work on over the next few years. We really got a lot from that with you, Kyle, listening to your presentation yesterday. You know, Rato and I cannot hire and be so involved in our company and expect it to grow. We need to trust that we have trained, hired leaders with good character that are on the same core values and understand the philosophy of the company, and then allow them to rise. So when we say rise of entrepreneur, we have a lot of entrepreneurs in our own company. Luis is an entrepreneur. Jeanette's an entrepreneur. Mario is an entrepreneur. They look at our business as if it's their own business, and how can they grow it? How can they scale it? How can they go after new channels? How can they be innovative? They don't rely on Garden Light. Sometimes they're moving before us, and we're like, oh my God, we got to catch up with these guys because they're already going. So hire the right people. This doesn't happen overnight. Define the roles and functions of the company. You got your company culture, knowledge. This is just common goals and responsibility. The next chart we're going to get into, then we define the team goals and responsibilities. Actually, that should say functions and responsibilities for the positions. It's not, you don't see a lot of stuff here, but so if you've got sales and dealer development, yours is going to be more sales and channels, strategic partners and people you can work with. But then, you break it down into some basic functions that they can use as their compass to grow their business. So mine's in strategy, marketing, communications. So I maintain and update my strategic plan. I monitor progress and compliance. I develop and implement all marketing campaigns. I manage all offline and online social media. But again, I hired the right people to do all this stuff, so I just have to look over it. Because I don't need to do every single thing. That's my domain, but my people that are within that ladder are the ones that move that needle for me. And then I can just monitor, right? And contribute. And I want my people to be able to bring me ideas, so I'm not the one writing everything. And then bounce it off your team. This is your executive team, so use this as kind of like your advisory board. And work together and have a checks and balance system where you guys are all talking and communicating, and keep your meetings short. We went through where we're going to have daily, scrum meetings, and then a daily gets to be too much. Find what works for your company and motivate your people, and then make that work. So determine your team goals. Find strategic partners. We've tried this. We got all excited over manufacturer reps. I know we have one or two here. It's a different model. I mean, the design, installation, residential, and commercial market is very different than working with a manufacturer rep or an AV rep. So you do want to find some strategic partners, but make sure strategic partners are actually contributing and giving back to you as well. That's why we have strategic partners, because we want to find people that can add value to our company and help elevate us, and that we can provide a service and solution for to help make them better, right? To help solve their problems or their customer problems. So you want to look for companies or markets, but you don't want to get too distracted either. I do like the idea that I told you I'm reading great by choice, and firing bullets versus cannonballs. I have to be very careful because I get really excited. I'm a marketing person, so I know my weak spots, right? I'm learning them the hard way. I can get really excited really quickly, but then I really now, as we continue to grow, I have to look and see, what is this going to do to everybody else that's on the bus? I can get as excited as I want. What are the ripple effects of that, and how is it going to be carried out? So it's really important to have that checks and balance system, and fire bullets rather than cannonballs. PSA, Pacific Airways, Pacific Southwest. They were a great example in this book. They had a philosophy where they wanted to fly, drive, stay. Southwest actually benefited from PSA's failure, because PSA had invested so much. They took all their fleet and invested in these amazing airplanes, but then they said, well, we want to invest in car rental companies. So they started buying up all these car rental companies, and then we want to have hotels for everybody to stay in. Well, the concept seemed great, but it wasn't tested, and it was very, very expensive, and it was actually the demise of the company. And then here came a smaller company that had a very narrow focus, low cost, low risk, and not a lot of distractions. And they, not being the innovator that Pacific Southwest was, Southwest ended up benefiting and having all the success and growing to a beautiful company. Associate with people of influence. That was my $1 million value. I was like, what? But all these people, they're so influential and they bring such value to our partners. Find people that you trust and you value and you want to associate with. because then you will begin to emulate those people, and you take the attributes and the character qualities that they have, and you meld it into what you want to be. So now that you've done all the hard work, you come all this way, you've gotten all excited, you're pumped up, you're ready to go, but then the luster wears off. You get back home, and I got this one over here, and that one, this has happened to me in my past, and I don't think I have the energy. Get back in training. Figure out what you want. Decide if this is, the best that you can be, or your ultimate destiny. Care. See what the next steps can do for you and take you. But you're going to have a lot of work to do to get there. And it's a big commitment. You got to stay on track. There might be days that you just wake up and your foot hurts and it is stormy. But find that thing that's within you and say, I'm not done yet. I'm going to get back up. I'm going to get back on that track. And I'm going to run really, really, really hard today. And I'm going to help other people. I always find if I'm trying to sell something, I get uncomfortable, but I am a salesperson by nature. I'm marketing and sales. But if I think I'm serving somebody and I know the outcome is going to be helpful for them, I can come from a much more comfortable position. And I love to help people. That I know. That's my calling, because I can be the Mother Earth. I have 4 kids. I have all these animals. I have my husband. I can do that. So find what you can do and what you're really, really good at, and incorporate it into your business. And then it will become a resonating brand, and you can help other people, and you can build something that gives you financial freedom. That part just comes with it naturally. And that's the awesome reward. But you got to stay on track. Got to stay on track. Stay connected. I loved when you guys all shook hands and got to know each other. Keep getting to know each other. Usually when we do Dealer Congress, it's like back to back to back. We gave you guys a lot of free time. I hope not too much. I know yesterday was kind of crazy. Build those, find somebody you can grab a hold of Kyle. He won't mind me saying that, I hope. Or Leah. If you're a woman in business, bring some more women, please. I want to see some more women lighting designers. I want to see some women entrepreneurs rise. If you guys know anybody, talk to people. Send them over to me. I like that. That's my domain. Get with Craig. Get with Mary. Find out what they're doing. Stay connected. Never stop training. I don't know of a better example. You have dedicated your life, Janet Lennox Mueller, to education. She never stops learning. Just in the almost a year, 9 months that I've known her, she's still learning. I call her, I'm going here, I'm teaching this, but she teaches, and that's how she's able to learn still too. So it's this dialogue that goes back and forth with the student and the mentor. Never stop learning. She could say, I've got this book that I've written. I've dedicated 40 years of my life. I know everything. She is learning every single day. Keep learning. Be greater than the common person. So I guess what we're asking you to do, I'm the cheerleader, the rah-rah. I'm very passionate about all of you and the success that you have building your brand. I want to help you in any way that I possibly can. My husband and I share that. I would say that's probably besides our children and our love, that's one of our greatest ties to each other. We both love. We have traveled this world, and we meet people from all over the place, and we tell them about lighting. And it's one of the luxuries that we have. And then we listen to their hearts, And if they want to start a business, we'll do whatever it takes to help them start a lighting company. Because we've seen people start from knocking on doors, being embarrassed, being shy, to flourishing and growing companies that generate $11 million in revenue. And that part is great, and I love flexing that. But this is so much more for Kyle and Leah. Before they had kids, they have now 3 beautiful children. They've built a family business. They're creating a legacy. They're creating a generational brand. Let's see what we can do together. Let's do this. And let's do it with all our hearts and all our passion. And let's stay connected. So, integrated LED that never fails. If you guys need help selling the product, putting the value on it, putting the price tag, whatever, we can help you. We do not even plug our retrofit line because we've just really grabbed a hold of the integrated LED, but we do have some new lamped fixtures that are going to be coming out. The line is gorgeous. You want to be able to offer your customers a good, better, best. And it's really important when you're out and you have that experience and you've wowed that customer to sell that customer and get them on the books. So when you're delivering that kind of personalized moments, those kind of experiences, don't be afraid to ask for the order. It's yours. You're providing something that they're going to enjoy for the rest of their lives. So have the confidence in the product line. And I don't want to pitch, but I'm going to. We brought the demo cases for you guys. You guys got to play in those. Rato's going to go through and show you some of those. If you don't have a demo kit and you're not providing demos for your customers, you're leaving money on the table. Tom Ziglar's not in here right now, but Taylor Flynn went to Tom's last week. Tom didn't know he wanted landscape lighting. Where is Taylor? Awesome. So Taylor went over to Tom's house and did a visual experience for him and his wife, and Tom's buying landscape lighting. He wants it now. And now they've connected, and Tom wants to work with him on mentoring. So it's like you never know who you're going to go meet or how things happen, but invest in a demo kit, do demos for your customers, provide those kind of experiences that last and are memorable for your customers. That's it for me. Thank you.